Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Imagine the sheer devastation of realizing your life savings are gone, not because of a bad market call, but because you fell victim to a meticulously crafted deception, a pig butchering scam. This week, U.S. federal agents delivered a monumental blow against these predatory schemes, executing the largest cryptocurrency seizure in the history of the Secret Service, totaling over $225 million. This isn't just about reclaiming stolen money. It's a powerful statement from U.S. law enforcement against criminals who have collectively siphoned billions from American citizens and others worldwide. So, what exactly are these pig butchering scams and how do they work? The name itself, though crude, perfectly illustrates the tactic. Scammers fatten up their victims with false attention and apparent success before slaughtering their savings. These elaborate confidence scams typically begin when criminals, often operating from overseas scam compounds in places like the Philippines and Vietnam, reach out through social media, dating apps, or even seemingly random text messages. They spend weeks, sometimes months, building what feels like a genuine connection, often fabricating identities as successful professionals, new friends, or even romantic partners. They might use AI-generated photos and videos to appear more convincing, making their false identities extremely difficult to discern. Once they've firmly established trust and rapport, the conversation subtly shifts to a supposedly lucrative crypto investment opportunity. Victims are lured on to highly convincing but entirely fake investment platforms or applications. To build confidence, these fraudsters will even allow small initial withdrawals, making victims believe their money's genuinely growing. This deceptive tactic encourages victims to invest increasingly larger sums, but the moment a substantial investment is made, access to their funds is suddenly blocked, and the scammer vanishes, leaving the victim with empty accounts and shattered trust. In one distressing example, a victim named DM invested $485,000 in virtual currency after being persuaded to download an app called AI TradeMate FX6 Pro, but was never able to withdraw any funds even after paying additional fees. The scale of this problem for Americans is truly staggering, with billions of dollars lost annually in 2024. Cryptocurrency investment fraud resulted in over $5.8 billion in reported losses across the country, a 47% increase from the previous year. When you include all types of scams involving digital assets, that figure jumps to more than $9.3 billion in reported losses in 2024. The heartbreaking truth is that individuals over the age of 60 were disproportionately affected, losing approximately $2.8 billion to these schemes. These losses often leave victims with empty bank accounts and profound financial hardship. The FBI and Secret Service are actively raising awareness, knowing these scams can ruin lives. One of the most striking examples involves Sean Haynes, the former CEO of Heartland Tri-State Bank in Kansas. After embezzling a staggering $47 million from his own institution between May and July 2023, he lost a substantial portion of it, identified as at least $3.3 million in traceable funds in this seizure, to these very pig-butchering scammers. These wire transfers, conducted between the bank's quarterly regulatory reporting periods, initially went undetected. His actions depleted the bank's liquidity, led to $21 million in emergency borrowing, and ultimately created a $35 million capital hole, forcing regulators to shut down the agricultural lender in July 2023. Haynes was sentenced to 24 years in prison in August 2024, highlighting the severe consequences for both perpetrators and victims. He also reportedly stole from a local church, an investment club, and his daughter's college fund to send to the scammers. So, how did law enforcement manage to trace such a vast and complex criminal network? The U.S. Secret Service and the FBI led an extensive investigation, working closely with private sector partners, including a major stablecoin company, Tether, and a prominent crypto exchange, OKX. These collaborative efforts employed sophisticated blockchain analysis and other advanced investigative techniques. Investigators painstakingly traced the stolen funds through hundreds of thousands of complex transactions, which the criminals had deliberately designed to obscure the money's origin, routing it through numerous wallets and accounts. They discovered that these illicit funds were being funneled through a network that generated an astounding $3 billion in transaction volume. The investigation specifically identified 144 OKX accounts, which were predominantly accessed via IP addresses in the Philippines and associated with email addresses using similar naming conventions. Many of these accounts were opened using Vietnamese identification documents and photos that appeared to have been taken in the same location, suggesting they were controlled by individuals working in scam compounds, locations solely dedicated to perpetrating these frauds and laundering proceeds. In two of the photos submitted for OKX account verification, individuals were even seen wearing lanyards with the company name iTechno Specialist Inc., a call center in Manila known for seeking Mandarin-speaking applicants to travel to the Philippines for these positions. By using these advanced techniques, authorities were able to follow the money, identify the network, and freeze the assets. This is a clear message. The digital world is not a lawless frontier. The record seizure of $225.3 million in crypto, primarily USDT, is a monumental step forward, and the U.S. government is now focused on returning these recovered funds to the victims. This effort is part of a broader commitment to dismantle criminal organizations and make victims whole again. The seized cryptocurrency is currently in the custody of the U.S. Marshal Service. The process for this restitution involves civil forfeiture, a legal action filed against the assets themselves rather than the individuals, which allows the government to seize property involved in criminal activity. Tether, the stablecoin issuer, played a crucial role by freezing the affected tokens, burning them, and then reissuing the equivalent amount to the U.S. government, enabling this civil forfeiture recovery. This highlights the importance of compliant stablecoins and the increased scrutiny exchanges will face. If you believe you or someone you know may have been a victim of a cryptocurrency investment scam like this, it's absolutely crucial to report it. You can do so by submitting a formal complaint through the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center website at www.ic3.gov. When you file your report, it's important to add the specific code BT06182025 in the narrative of your complaint. If you've previously filed a related complaint, make sure to note that prior submission in the narrative when you add this code. While the current $225 million seizure covers over 400 victims globally, including dozens across the U.S., federal investigators are actively working to trace the perpetrators behind additional scams, so every report helps. The Department of Justice, including figures like Matthew R. Galliotti, head of the criminal division, has made it clear that this is not the last action they will take to protect Americans from these relentless fraudsters. They are unwavering in their commitment to pursue these scammers, retrieve ill-gotten gains, and make victims whole again. The Trump administration has also indicated that forfeited money not returned to victims could potentially be used to fund a U.S. cryptocurrency reserve. Staying informed, exercising extreme caution with online interactions, especially when money or investments are involved, and immediately reporting suspicious activity remains your best defense in this evolving digital landscape. Remember, if an online contact tries to move conversations to private messaging apps like WhatsApp, offers urgent investment opportunities, or asks for payments in cryptocurrency, these are major warning signs. Be wary if a new contact refuses a video call or seems overly eager to discuss investments. It's always safest to end such conversations. Thank you for watching, and remember to stay safe out there. I'll see you in the next video.